the commercial breaks on our live stream.
Please do.
Right.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Well, let's get to some of our other top headlines for today. This morning was pretty frustrating for some neighborhoods. This is actually a photo of Matt Place in Greensboro. A viewer shared this photo with us just before noon. The roads looked untouched at the time. Roads in Winston-Salem were also still very icy. You can see this is Ellerby Avenue in Winston-Salem around 9:30 this morning. And then this Kernersville apartment complex parking lot was still covered in ice around 8:15.
City plow teams have moved on to neighborhood roads after getting through main roads like I-40 and elsewhere. Boy, you wouldn't know it that it's so cold because it looks beautiful out there. This is at Gallimore Dairy Road. Traffic flowing smoothly and as it should right now.
Some school districts are already making decisions about tomorrow because neighborhood roads could create trouble for those school buses. This video you're seeing is from this morning of Hargett Street and Gorell Street. You can see roads were still pretty icy, but cars were doing what they could to pass through. Right now, we know Guilford County schools will learn remotely tomorrow. We have not yet heard from other districts, but of course, we'll keep you updated. And we continue our team coverage of these icy road conditions. WFMY News 2's Jenna Kurzina is live in Winston-Salem near Parkland High School.
Eric will have an update on the forecast that shows more potential winter weather headed our way. And Avery Powell is live in Greensboro. Avery, let's start with you. You spoke with Guilford County Schools about their decision to learn remotely tomorrow. If you could explain the reasoning for us.
Yeah, Chad, as you mentioned, Guilford County Schools will be doing remote learning on Wednesday. GCS officials say they made this decision after careful consideration analyzing road conditions and the weather forecast. They also even have experienced staff members who go out and drive on those roads that are typically slower to clear off. Today, GCS didn't have classes scheduled, and as you can see behind me, families were out taking advantage of the snow day. And the Davis and Lust families were among several out with their kids Tuesday. With Guilford County schools out and kids stuck inside, they said it was a good opportunity to step out of the house, especially with the sun shining and warmer temperatures than over the past few days.
We were out for about an hour yesterday, so definitely getting the energy out because you run out of things to do in the house.
Snow can be exciting for the kids, but they also said they don't want to get them too excited before the storm comes.
I feel like you try to hide it from the kids so that don't get their hopes up. That's
right.
What we do.
And then when it starts falling, it's utter chaos in the house.
No matter how much.
We can go outside.
Both Lust and Davis said they were happy to have a good snow day since they haven't had one in a while, and one of Lust's youngest has never even seen snow before. As for these residential streets that we're on, the city of Greensboro says that they are going to start working on those this afternoon and tonight. And Greensboro city officials, as we said, are going to start working on those, but they are icy, so make sure you take your time if you have to go out today.
Avery, thank you. And Eric, unfortunately, we can't get like a 60-degree day that will just melt it all away, because that would really take care of the problems that we're seeing with the melting and refreezing.
Yeah, it's kind of usually what does happen with us is usually we'll get a day or two of sunshine after that, and even our winter high temperatures, you know, when they're in the 40s in January this time of the year, it's still enough to help get rid of that. So let's talk about, will we see that? And the answer is yes, but let's talk about refreezing in just a minute. If I skip ahead, because I know a lot of folks are really more concerned about this Thursday to Saturday situation. Thursday we'll have a cold front move through. The rain coming in with that on the front end could end with a little bit of snow, maybe some accumulation with some slick spots for Thursday evening, but the bigger situation comes in Friday and Saturday, and the timing of this second low pressure system, which could develop off the coast, that's one that, you know, it's difficult to predict a low that hasn't even developed yet, so to speak. So we're waiting to see that, but the low pressure does move in. It is likely to throw back some snow or a mix of this back inland from the coast in our neck of the woods. Travel problems obviously likely with that. We do think the bottom line, some winter weather is likely. It's really too early for us to talk about how much. Models are in big disagreements. I know that's a shock to you. We get that all the time, don't we? But this is the European model. Doesn't look quite as ominous. You see a little bit of snow there developing. And the trouble is that we see a chance of snow over a long period of time. That could go Friday overnight into Saturday. And then if you look at the GFS model here, a different one, it looks like it might move through a little quicker, but still some snow on the backside of that. And that is Friday evening and night. So that one when we might see that accumulation coming in a little bit early. The bottom line to all this is that it's too early to make the call, but we can tell you we do think we'll get some sort of wintry precipitation or a mix. And again, the days we're watching out for now are Friday and Saturday. We'll keep you posted as we get closer.
If you are driving home for work this evening, you'll want to be careful and watch for black ice. Black ice is the clear glaze of ice on roads you may not be able to see. It happens when roads are wet and temperatures drop below freezing. Bridges and overpasses are especially prone to black ice. And here's what you should do if you happen to hit it. First, steer straight. Sudden turns can make your car lose control and spin. Avoid hitting the brakes. It's tempting, but it can cause sliding. Now instead, drive at a lower speed and keep a bigger distance between you and the car in front of you.
High Point City trash collection is delayed because of those road conditions. The city plans to resume collection tomorrow. Pickup today was canceled and the city will not collect yard or bulk waste. All trash pickup days are pushed back by 1 day. The sunshine has been a big help for neighborhoods. This is Canterbury Road in High Point. The pictures on the left are from this morning before it warmed up. You can see the roads were still covered in ice. Video on the right shows the roads this afternoon after getting some help from warmer temperatures and the sun.
As the snow melts and people get back to work, insurance agents are busy with claims and figuring out coverage for ice-related damage. President of Alliance Insurance Services, Christopher Cook, says they've been getting a lot of calls about trees damaging driveways, buildings, and homes. Thankfully, not a lot of car accidents are being reported to him. But with more winter weather possibly headed our way, here's a breakdown of what you need to know. Let's start with your car. If you have a single car accident in the ice or snow, Cook says it's still considered your fault. You can't put the blame on the weather. You'll need to document the damage and file a claim. If ice from another car hits and damages your car, Cook says don't chase after the driver. He says these acts of nature fall under comprehensive coverage. Same goes for a tree falling on your car. Now, if your neighbor's tree hits your house or your car, your homeowner's policy will cover it. But what about if a tree falls just on your property? Cook says a lot of insurance policies do not provide coverage for that. And finally, if you've been out and about, you probably noticed how slick everything is. It's pretty easy to slip and fall. Cook says this would be medical payments coverage. Typically, homeowner policies have med pay. Even if you slip on ice and fall outside of a business, Cook says it would be med pay as well on the business's policy, not a liability insurance claim.
We all need to use caution as we're moving out and about over the next coming days. Hopefully we'll get some warm weather tomorrow and that concern will pass us by, so to speak, but be careful right now.
Cook says no matter the time of year and what causes the damage, always document everything.
The best advice I can give to anyone is to document the damage, document what happened, so that your insurance company can get clear communication from you and work towards getting you made whole again.
This is also a good time to remember you to check your pipes, especially if you own a property that no one lives in at the time.
The North Carolina Zoo is closed, but the animals are certainly enjoying their snow days. The polar bears were out and about today, so were the zebras and the elk. The zoo's Red River hog enjoyed a snack today. I'm going to pause right here because look at that. Look at all that food around that little snowman there. Always fun to see the animals there. While we work to clear away ice, Grandfather Mountain Park has more than a foot of snow.
Yeah, you can see this photo shows a tractor trying to clear the main road yesterday. The park is closed for snow and ice removal. Roads may have been bad, but it made for a beautiful day on the mountain with that bright blue sky and snow-covered trees. You can check out the park's website for updates on when they'll reopen. We'll be right back.
Hola.
It's Eric Chilton's birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
No.
Happy birthday to you. Oh,
look at the picture,
happy
Jeff.
birthday, dear Chilton. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, thank you,
and
thank you.
many more.
I love this picture.
How old are you, 25?
I said 30. Let's get it right.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I'm 56 today.
56.
No way.
And you know what? I realized that that I had, let's see, what is it? We were talking, Ed and I were chatting, Ed has been working here as long as I have been in television. He's been at this station. He started here the year I graduated from college. I think that's crazy.
And how many years have you been here?
This is my in September it'll be 19.
Okay. 56. Wow. So how does it feel?
Blah, blah, blah. So it's funny, when I hit 50, I thought, oh no, like that's a milestone birthday and all that. I remember when my dad hit 50, but that didn't hit me as hard as thinking that I'm 4 years away from the other one. That one will make me feel old. Like right now, I still think that 50s, whatever, is still not that bad, but yeah, I don't know.
That's cool. Did you hear from the kids today?
I did, yes. We had a family dinner last night instead of today because I knew we'd be busy at work and I had yesterday off. So we had a family dinner last night. It's so funny. My little girl, so the youngest, right? She's 8, almost 9, and she's daddy's girl, so she sticks close. So last night we were all sitting at the table getting ready to eat, and she started to look down like she was going to cry. And I said, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And then she goes, "I wanted to sit beside you." I said, "Oh
she's
my
so
goodness!"
cute.
So I had to get Tyler to switch seats with me so I
That's
could sit
great.
beside her. It was so cute.
Aww.
Well, we're going to talk more to Eric Chilton in some of the other breaks, so we hope to see you there. It's great.
That is so great.
Well, we all know as the snow melts and refreezes, a lot of people still somewhat housebound after this storm. All the beautiful snow, now just inches of ice in some cases that really some neighborhoods can't be navigated. We caught up with one woman in High Point. She said there's no way for her to get out of the neighborhood.
We're really not able to go to any stores or school at that. And it's just been difficult because it's like, who wants to be stuck in the house this entire time, And they say that they've cleared the highways, but we got to leave the neighborhood before we get to the highway. So it's just been hard because it's just nothing but ice. And it's, a lot of people have been coming through here, but it's trucks. And we're not able to go anywhere.
So Kia is a student and studying from home. That's really not the issue, but getting out for other needs and errands, that is a problem.
Yeah, it does worry me when it comes to going out to the store because it's so dangerous out here. I don't want to get into any car accidents or slide into any ditches with ice being everywhere.
And ice is different than snow.
It's most definitely different than snow.
I think the key here too is when I was talking with Kia, she said, look at my driveway. So the driveway is like a 40-degree steep driveway, but it's down to the house. So she said she couldn't get the car up out of the driveway to get to the street. So
interesting.
Yeah.
And you always hear this time of year that when there's ice on the ground, you know what you have to walk like. Ever heard this?
No.
A penguin. So
Like
you just
this?
kind of shuffle your feet along, and that's how
Really?
you walk
Okay.
if you're dealing with a lot of ice everywhere.
The funniest thing was I took video of our videographer, Dave, who was with me today, who was put the camera down to get a low angle shot, and then he started sliding. And of course, me, instead of helping, go, this is a
You
great
took a video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed especially today, I guess people driving over that snow and ice, it just packs it down and makes it a thick layer of ice, which is even more slick and more dangerous. So I can understand her concern with being a little nervous to drive out there. And if you don't have to go anywhere, might as well stay home.
Much rather have snow than ice.
And I honestly
any
thought,
day.
so I think because I grew up in the Great White North that I am elite at navigating snow and ice. And I almost took a digger yesterday because I just wasn't thinking about it. I was like, oh, this is no big deal. I've done this before.
Like, hey.
Yep, almost hit my
Well,
butt.
ice is, I've always said, you can learn how to drive in snow. You can't, nobody drives well on ice. So,
No.
Right.
Yeah, no traction.
It's scary.
Get my hockey skates out.
That's right.
Do it that way.
Just
All right,
skate
we'll
to
take a
work.
break. We're coming right back. Stay there.
Happy birthday, Eric Chilton.
Yay!
On our floor.
Oh, I know.
I was just skating.
There he is.
Stacy is ice skating.
Look at him.
You know, they used to have a
It was a
They
floating
used to
head.
have one of those with Ed and it was on a stick, and they did
So
they used to do
Ed
a
on a-
promotional thing
yes.
for GMS, a Good Morning Show called Where's Ed's Head? And somebody would go around and take a picture of it, and everybody tried to identify where he was in the
I
field.
love
great.
that. That's so fun.
Okay, Eric Chilton, do you have a
question time.
like a memorable birthday that you've had over the
Ooh,
years?
that's a good one.
Okay, well, oh my God, I'm 56, so now I have to go back 50 years for this one. So probably the most memorable birthday for me was when I was 6 and I was in first grade, because I went to school. I think I told somebody, did I tell you this the other day? I don't know. And I said, I just told people it's my birthday. Do you want to come over to my house and play? Because I'm in first grade, right? So got home, my mom said, what's going on? All these parents were dropping kids off. And I didn't tell mom.
didn't
I
tell
just
your
said, I just wanted people to come over and play. My mother looks at my sister and she goes, Teresa, go to the store and get a cake. And we were like doing a ring around the rosy, anything to keep us occupied.
That's hilarious.
I threw myself a birthday party when I was
That's
6
really
years
funny.
old.
Isn't that the most Chilton thing you've ever heard?
Yes,
Like,
and I'm sure your mom was just like livid because she was like, I don't have food, I don't have
Nothing.
bags.
She
I
had
have to take care of
nothing.
all these kids, 6-year-olds at that. Sorry,
I
Mom.
got to get to the other studio.
Oh,
But
you're
yeah,
going
the
there.
surprise birthday party that I threw for myself, that was the best.
All right, we'll chat in a second.
All right, we're going to look at temperatures right now. And when you look at this, you think, oh, thank goodness, we've got some 40s, right? This will help us, or has helped us really throughout the day, to get rid of some of that. But you know, when the ice is so compacted down, you snow and ice on top of it, then melt and refreeze, now it's almost nothing but ice. It's going to take a few days for this to happen. 42 degrees in Greensboro, Reidsville, 43 Winston-Salem, 41 in Walnut Cove and Mount Airy. If you go back to the higher elevations, Boone and Galax both at 34. Into the south, a bit warmer with Troy and Montgomery County at 51 degrees. So overall, with these temperatures, as we head into the night tonight, yeah, we're going to refreeze again as we see everything just drop down. 26 for that low again. Partly cloudy. Tomorrow, now that's a good temperature for us. That'll help out tremendously as we head into your Wednesday. That's a 50-degree high. Winds will be a little bit breezy tomorrow, so watch for that. Wind gusts and some of the sustained winds, we could see wind gusts up to 15 to 20, so watch out for that. Satellite and radar all clear, as you might guess. In fact, we have to go out to a really wide shot to see any precipitation, and that's down around the northern Louisiana area in Arkansas. So high pressure in control for today and tonight. It'll be clear and cold tonight as well. Tomorrow, as we watch this next system, clouds will build. There's some rain with that'll come in Thursday. We're waiting to see if maybe on the backside of that we could see some of that rain change over with the cold air rushing in behind it to a little bit of snow mixed in with some of that rain. And then the big question is, will we see some of those overnight, or that low pressure rather, develop overnight along the coastal section? That could be a Friday into Saturday situation, and that could provide some sort of wintry precipitation. Wind gusts tomorrow up to 20 miles per hour and a high of 50. Then Thursday and Friday will keep those chances up to 60% Thursday of mostly rain, and then maybe a changeover late with a little snow mixed in, high of 43. The low and the high, how about that? Don't see that very often. We stay right under the freezing mark all the way through Friday with a 50-50 shot of a snow mix. And then Saturday, a little bit of that left over in 34. We should start to clear out a little bit on Sunday with a high of 40 and back to the mid to upper 40s with sun for next week.
A Texas police department is trying something no other department has ever done. Bexar County Police will send you traffic tickets through text message. They developed a program called Trusted Driver, where drivers can avoid seeing an officer face-to-face and still get their ticket. They hope if they can reduce the number of interactions for minor traffic violations, they can focus on more serious crimes like DWIs. Now, instead of getting pulled over, if an officer finds you violating the law, they can simply text you the ticket. It's not all bad here. Police can also send positive messages to drivers obeying traffic laws. I'm the kind of person who actually obeys all of the traffic laws, so I'm not concerned about this. I know that
Okay.
you might be wondering if
Okay.
that's true. It's true.
It
Okay.
doesn't bother me because I feel like that's the way society's going now. It's like nobody wants to be face to face anymore. They just want to talk through
Sure.
technology. But the other side of that is that sometimes wouldn't you want to be able to plead your case to the police officer?
That is
instead of-
exactly what
Is that
I was
what you were
thinking.
thinking?
Yes. I mean, there might be a situation where you're speeding because you have to get somewhere. I don't know, maybe your wife is in labor, you're trying to get to the hospital, then you just get a text that you have a ticket. Like, come on now. You know, I get it will make things easier, and I'm glad that they want to focus on more serious crimes, but I don't know, I'm just not about this.
What if you text back and go, wait, can we talk about this? Can we FaceTime?
Yeah, can we have it like a conversation about it? Then maybe I would be okay with it.
And
but-
like, what kind of message are you gonna, you know, when I talked about the flip side of that, where you can get like positive reinforcement? I mean, what's a police officer gonna say? Like, you know, I saw you use that blinker. Great job.
Great job for fully stopping at that stop sign,
Right.
not pausing.
What if they texted the person that has perma blinker, you know, the one you can't stand on the highway, and just go, dude, turn your blinker off.
Turn it off. But then again, you shouldn't be reading text while you're driving.
Oh,
right? Or
exactly.
sending
Very
messages.
Also, there's
So-
all that whole thing too. So,
Right. Well, let's hope it doesn't spread. Just Texas. Just let it happen there, right?
yeah, they already speed there anyway.
We'll be right back.
Are you a speak first, deal with the consequences later person? Today on U Day, Coach Lamont is going to help change your perspective on just how powerful our words can be and the damage that they can cause.
There's a proverb that says self-control is not only controlling our being, but controlling your tongue. Many of us have a talk first, face the consequences of our words later mentality. Understand that our words have the power to build and break relationships and build and break our lives. It is a bit in a horse's mouth that can control the direction of the horse. A small steering wheel can control a car. A small doorknob will permit entrance into a house. Imagine what a tongue can do. to your big life. Your tongue is the key to life fulfillment. And with this revelation, it is important to be more cautious to the words we speak and when we speak. You get what you speak. Remember that. This is Coach Lamont. Make today your best you day. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, so it's interesting. We talk about the power of words. This is something that I had to learn with my wife, like as we were going through our marriage, because I grew up in a newsroom. People in a newsroom back in the old days, not now, but back when I came up in it, it was a rough place, right? People would yell at each other. Sometimes they say curse at each other, but when it's over with, and we're all friends again, and no hard feelings. My wife said, no, if you say something, then you meant it. And you can't just say, oh, it was in the heat of the moment. So with me growing up in that culture and then having to have a relationship, and she was like, no, if you say something, I can't just blow it off. You know?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of times the same kind of situation. I have to watch what I say and take a minute to think about it before I say it, because sometimes in the heat of the moment, you say things that you would later regret. So my mom always tried to teach me growing up, think before you speak, even though it's very hard to do sometimes. You can try to.
Immaturity was the reason that I would do that, but as I got older, it became a little bit easier. But words do have power too.
They really do.
They can be hurtful.
Even if you don't mean it.
That's exactly right. All right, we'll take a short break. We'll see you in just a few minutes. Stay there, please.
Alerts for Winston-Salem for South County Schools. Mic check 1 2 3. What if I said no, Tasha? Mic check 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10.
All right, can you hear me? I'm talking about fantastic. Talking about having fun in the snow and why it's really good for you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Stacey Spivey with Eric Chilton and Chad Silver.
He is the man of the hour.
Both of us.
Look at this guy, twinning on this day. Today is Eric Chilton's birthday.
Yay, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Brad,
Yeah.
do you have like
So
one of
nice.
those laugh track, or not laugh tracks?
Yeah, it
clap
is like
tracks?
a laugh track. Like
Celebration, like
Yes, love
clapping.
that.
Where did you get that? You've had that
I have
forever.
no idea, but I really enjoy it.
It's great.
It makes
I
me
wish I
feel
still
like
looked
I'm
like
Eric
that guy.
Chilton.
There's no gray hair on that guy.
Right.
You do look the exact
I
same,
like
though.
him.
We're going to talk to him about his birthday and all things birthdays during the commercial
scary.
breaks on Facebook, so please come and join us for that. And thank you for watching On Air, Online, Fire Stick, and Roku. The big story of the day today, schools impacted by the weather. We have now learned several schools will be going remote tomorrow. That includes Guilford County schools, Surrey County schools, Alamance, Burlington. All those schools will be going remote. It's also important to point out Davie, Stokes, and Mount Airy City schools will be closed tomorrow. We'll keep you updated on other closings, both on air and on WFMYnews2.com. And while we wait to hear about classes for other school districts, we're focusing on Winston-Salem Forsyth County schools, where we haven't heard just yet, but we know ice is still a problem for them as well.
Yeah, this is a look at the parking lot at Parkland High School this morning. The entire lot was a sheet of ice before the sun had time to melt anything. And WFMY News 2's Jenna Krzina is live now in Winston-Salem near that high school. Jenna, what does it look like out there? Has anything melted?
Hey Stacy, yeah, you can see the parking lot here, as you mentioned from that picture this morning, almost reminding me a little bit of an ice rink, almost like you could skate on it. We know that the ice is slippery, so you could slip and fall if you were to go on that. But here at Parkland right now, it is looking a little bit better. It looks like the sun has worked in its favor, melting some of the spots here at the parking lot, but definitely, the temperatures dropping again tonight, the possibility of more refreezing, so the parking lot not completely clear just yet. I did speak with the school district, who says there are a lot of factors when it comes to deciding if school will be canceled or not due to the weather. The district has an operation team that drives around using a specific technology system that gives road temperatures and predictions. That team will be going around the county and then share that information with senior team members. But that isn't the only decision that the district takes into account. They also have to make sure school campuses are safe for staff, parents, and students to return to.
We have about 18 miles worth of sidewalks on our campuses in our district, and about 400 acres of parking lots. So they have to be able to clear all of those and make everything safe for folks to return to campus, which is another big factor in whether or not we can go to school.
The district's maintenance team is the ones who take care of the school campuses. They have about 100 working, but they have 90 different campuses to clear. So, as you can see right here, there is still a lot of work left to do, especially here in the parking lot at Parkland High School. And again, 90 campuses, so a lot of ground to cover there. We are still waiting, as Chad mentioned, on the decision if Winston-Salem Forsyth County schools will be open or remote tomorrow or canceled. We're still waiting on that decision. As soon as we learn that, we will bring it to you both on air and online.
Jenna, thank you. Now take a look at this. Stacy Grimm shared this video of a flock of ducks trying to swim their way across a pond in Burlington, but the water was so frozen, the ducks were able to actually get up on top of the ice and walk across. You see them all popping up one by one. Now one duck tries to fight through the icy water, and you can see most of them just end up flying away. So cute. And that just shows how cold it is outside, Eric.
Yeah, but I was thinking the exact same thing when I was driving along today. We were out doing some stories, and I saw some ducks flying over the water and sitting in the water. I just thought, how do they do that? Yep. Our forecast is calling for some pretty cold air to move back in. Now, not tomorrow, but tonight, this refreezing thing, yeah, that's going to be a real deal, right? We're down to 26 tonight. Even though we see partly cloudy skies, that's cold enough. We will see that refreezing issue. Now tomorrow, even warmer than today. Today we were in the 40s, tomorrow 50 even, but an increase in cloud cover. We'll still get a decent amount of sunshine and some warmer high temperatures. That'll help a bit. And when you know it, about the time that we get ready to melt all this away, and then now there's a chance again, a little bit of a chance on Thursday, slightly better chance for Friday, Saturday. Timing, how much, what type of precipitation, still kind of up in the air, but I could pretty much guarantee you that we'll see some form of wintry mix coming in Friday, Saturday for sure. Here's the setup. High pressure to the south. That'll keep us nice and clear. This cold front moves in, and as we see that get closer to us for your Thursday, it's not really a Wednesday situation, but Thursday it moves in. Rain on one side. It could change over to snow on the backside, maybe a mix as we head into the second half of the day. This is about noontime on Thursday, but with that moving through, and the chance that that cold air could catch up to it on the backside of the front, we could see a little bit of snow mixed in with that rain Thursday night. The bigger issue, though, is as we head into Friday and Saturday. So it may accumulate on Thursday if we get enough, but I think really that's not the focus right now. The new system is Friday, Saturday. Low pressure will move in. It'll be coast side, but where it develops, it hasn't even formed yet. Where we think it will develop and move is going to determine what we get. It's likely to spread that snow or at least a mix over our area. So the bottom line is more winter weather is likely. Too early to talk about amounts, but here we go again, and we'll stay tuned to this and pay close attention, bring you all the information as we get it over the next couple of days.
All right, when you think of snow, what comes to mind? Closed schools, black ice, staying inside, maybe the mad dash to the grocery store. But there are plenty of benefits of winter weather. Blanca Cobb has a master's degree in psychology. Blanca, how is being in winter weather good for your physical health?
Winter weather is fabulous for your physical health because you're going to have physical exertion, but it's going to be in a different way than what you're used to. If you think about when you're walking on snow, you can't just shuffle your feet or walk really fast. You have to be more intentional with your steps. That means you have to pick up your foot and place it down into the snow. And then you have to pay attention where you're going to place your foot so that you don't slip. You're also working on balancing, right? Again, because you're just not walking very fast. You're balancing yourself to make sure that you still stay on your feet. And when you're outside, your body has to work harder in order to keep you warm, which means you're going to burn more calories. And I haven't met anyone yet who isn't interested in burning just a little bit more calories.
It's like when you go to the gym and you've got the same routine, and then all of a sudden you switch it up and you try a different machine and you're working out new muscles.
Absolutely. That is a very good analogy, Chad. That's exactly what happens. It's really good for us.
So you say that cold weather can be good for your emotional health. What do you mean by that?
Oh, yes. When you are out in winter weather, in snow, I'm talking about being safe in snow, it's going to decrease your stress level. And what's going to happen is your body's going to release more endorphins. And it happens, and more endorphins means that's like a mood booster. You're going to feel happier. And the reason this happens is because what happens a lot of times in snow or winter weather, it brings out our playful side. So for example, our very own Tanya Rivera, she was making snow angels, and you can see that big smile on her face, right? So it makes you have fun. And then our own Stacy Spivey's, her baby's first Christmas. You can see the world through your child's eyes. It's a new physical sensation for them. And it just really will bring people together because you're having fun.
I think outside of the physical sensation, the visual sensation is great for a lot of people too. Winter weather can be beautiful to look at. Talk about how that can affect your mood as well.
When you think about being out in winter weather and there's a blanket of snow everywhere, everything just sounds louder and crisper. You can even hear your own breath as you're walking. And there's so much beauty because you're going to see the trees, from trees to wildlife, differently. When there's snow, there's a picture that you're seeing of the mountains and all the snow on the mountains. It's beautiful. And then wildlife, I mean, elk are just beautiful to see, but it's something that you don't get to see when there isn't winter weather. And that just really puts us in touch with Mother Nature and to appreciate the beauty of Earth.
A lot of good things to remember. Blanca, thank you for the insight. If you'd like to watch this entire conversation again, we're going to be posting it shortly after this show. I agree with her. You know, it's sometimes you just have to sit back and appreciate Mother Nature and what she has the power to do. I mean, being inside during winter weather is beautiful.
Being inside, is that what you said? Yes.
And
I
looking
agree.
outside, yes.
I will say, usually I'm not all about the winter weather, about the snow and ice and everything, but because of what Blanca was saying, you know, I got to live through Baylor with it being her first snow. I was excited because it was a new experience for her.
Mm-hmm.
I think snow, and I did this in My 2 Cents recently, but I think snow has a calming effect on us. You know, when you look out and, I don't know, there's just something about that soundless snow at night when it dampens the sound. I just love it.
Yeah. Now, when you have to drive in it, though, that's
Right.
that's the other issue, a different story.
Well, and you were saying that your dog also had a good time out there.
Oh, y'all, he was literally sitting at the door whining because he wanted back out to play after he had just been out for probably about 15, 20 minutes. And of course, we have to stand out there and play with him, and then we're cold and he's
Right.
cold. But yeah, it's just fun all around. And even though you don't like getting out in it, It's nice and it's pretty to look at, and a
Give
lot of people
Baylor
enjoy
about
it.
4 years and she'll ride Wrigley around the backyard.
Yeah,
If he'll let her, yeah. It'll be a lot of fun. We can attach a sled to his collar or something,
Yes.
and he can pull her, maybe. We'll
He
see
can
how
even
that
pull
goes.
you too.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He weighs 100 pounds now. The vet was like, you're gonna have to cut back on the treats. Well, let's go ahead and get to some of our national stories. In our national headlines, U.S. senators are debating on voting rights legislation approved by the House last week. The legislation combines the Freedom to Vote Act and John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act. The legislation would set an early voting and vote by mail national standard, make Election Day a holiday, and require certain states to get clearance from the Justice Department before making changes to local election laws.
AT&T and Verizon are launching their 5G technology, and airlines are worried it could cause major disruptions to flights. Experts say 5G networks will interfere with radio equipment and in some airplanes. The FAA approved almost half of commercial flights to operate after this rollout, but airlines warn things like autopilot and terrain warning could still be compromised on some flights. They're asking for lower 5G strength around 50 airports. AT&T and Verizon say the technology has been launched to 40 other countries without disruptions.
Well, here's a fun fact that you may not know about me. When I was a kid, I absolutely loved Winnie the Pooh, one of my all-time favorites. Another fun fact is that I learned today, never knew this, that my birthday today is also National Winnie the Pooh Day. How about that? To honor the bear, social media is sharing some of their favorite quotes from the popular kids collection here. Disney tweeted, "No bothers here. Hope you have an exceptionally sweet Winnie the Pooh Day." Molly shared a photo, this is really cool, of a painting that her husband made. It shows Tigger falling from the treetop while Eeyore, Piglet, and Pooh tug on Pooh's shirt with Christopher Robin. One account shared this quote, "When you see someone putting on his big boots, you can be pretty sure that an adventure is going to happen." Another user shared photos of his copy of Winnie the Pooh, the book from 1936. Susie shared the famous line, "Promise me you'll always remember, you're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think." I absolutely love Pooh. So does Megan Malaris. We too are the Pooh people in the newsroom that talk about Winnie the Pooh. We have Pooh. She has a picture of her little boy Christian with his stuffed Pooh, and then hers that she had when she was little too.
Oh, I love that.
That's sweet.
And how perfect that it's on your birthday.
So I didn't know, but the reason that it is that A.A. Milne, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his last name right, M-I-L-E-N-E, the creator of Winnie the Pooh, it's his birthday today, and that's why they did that. And Pooh was based on his son, whose name was Christopher Robin Milne, and his stuffed animals that they gave all those names to. So very cool.
Yeah, I don't know, have y'all seen the movie about the makings, like behind Winnie the Pooh, like the storyline behind how it all came about?
Ooh, no.
I cannot remember the name, but I will have to Google it to give you guys, because it was such a great movie. I also loved Winnie the Pooh growing up. I just think it has such a great message for kids, and I mean, not just kids, but everyone, you know?
My second grade teacher used to call me Pooh Bear because I wore Winnie the Pooh, like little golf shirts with the Pooh insignia here. She called me Pooh Bear the whole year.
That is so cool.
Our producer just let me know it's literally called Christopher Robin, the movie.
Oh,
the
you
movie.
go.
Oh, yes. Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
Yes,
Yep.
such a good one.
Happy birthday, Air Children. We're going to talk during the commercial break if you're on Facebook, so come join us.
So sad.
Happy birthday.
Okay, I have to know
Chilton.
your favorite Winnie the Pooh episode or story.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I know what it was, because I had when I was a kid, I had those books where you could read along while the record played, and literally it was a record back then. So, and it was Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day. I love that.
I was literally about to say the same thing.
Isn't that a good one?
That one's my favorite.
I never got a chance to meet the guy that did the voice. His name was Sterling Holloway, but I did one time. I did a shoot for the Disney Channel back in the 90s, and the lady that I met there, an artist for Disney, knew him very well, and she said he was the sweetest man. So he did the voice for decades for Winnie the Pooh.
I remember it's like the very first one, I think, where he gets stuck in the
tree.
Yeah.
Doesn't he get his head
his
stuck
belly's
in a honey pot
too
or something
big.
too?
Yes. He has a big belly. I love seeing pregnant women dressed as Winnie the Pooh for Halloween.
That's funny.
They have a little belly.
Okay, Eric Chilton, we talked about your favorite birthday memory. Do you have like a least favorite?
You know, no, I really didn't have. It's funny, we didn't make as big of a deal out of birthdays in my family like a lot of people do. So it was kind of low key. I did have one that I loved was when I was 12. We had a bowling party. Everybody went to the bowling lane
nice.
together.
That sounds fun.
That was fun. And I went one year. We went to see the Harlem Globetrotters at the Greensboro Coliseum. So that was fun too.
It is interesting to hear what different people do for their birthdays depending on what time of year it falls under.
Yes,
Right? So yours was
yeah.
always in the dead of winter.
And
so that
right
must have
after
been,
Christmas too. you know?
Right. Yeah. So it's not like you could, have
Picture.
Look behind you. There it is
great.
again. That's
is
Chad
like-
holding up that.
Yeah.
Look how great that is.
It's perfect.
I mean, it's a
Grand.
perfect. It fits.
Right.
Except for the back of my hair is having a little party here, and I wasn't invited. But other than
well,
that,
everybody else was, like your 6th birthday, when everybody was invited to your birthday.
when everybody in Mount Airy showed up, and my mother didn't know what to do. It's a typical Eric thing to
Well, happy 56.
do. Thank you so much.
Hope it's the best one yet.
You had to say 56.
Well, you
You know, during a storm, we expect to see city snowplows working long hours, but have you ever stopped to think about smaller companies that do the exact same thing? Triad Turf Techs have to completely change their business model in winter when lawn care isn't needed, but when there's a winter storm, they are in full hustle mode.
We do mostly landscaping and lawn maintenance and landscape lighting, but obviously when it snows, that isn't happening. So really, as soon as it stops, we've got about 7 of my own guys, and then we're pulling guys off of other landscaping crews to help us with getting rid of the snow, shoveling, plowing. But it's some long hours.
Long hours it is. Casey said sometimes they'll work 16 hours a day for a few days after the storm to get it all broken up. But remember now, this one was more ice. You can see there, that's the plow trying to cut little pieces of ice while they scrape it up. And when it's ice and not snow, that's a whole different story.
I tell people we can clear a foot of snow a whole lot easier than we can clear an inch of ice. It just, the plows, if it's ice, the plows just run over it. We can't touch it until it slushes up. So we take snow all day, and we can push snow at night. But again, if once it's ice, sun goes down, that's over.
So basically he said like a day like today, the window's kind of weird, right? So he waits for it to get warm enough that it does start to melt, and then tries to hurry with all of his crews and trucks to get as much of it up as they can, because after about 7 or 8 o'clock tonight, it's going to refreeze again.
And we all have to remember that, I mean, plows really haven't been in operation for 3 years. Right? Because, I mean, we haven't had snow more than 2 inches in over 3 years. So, I mean, some of these guys are out of practice,
That
right?
might be, yeah, that's true.
I thought that was so interesting how you have to literally break it into little pieces. I didn't even think about like how hard that would be to actually scrape the ice off.
He said they'll break it, and get some of that, and then they back up and try to scoop and hope they can start getting under it. But he says inevitably you get under it for a little bit, but then it goes right back up to the top, and you have to go back and break it again.
So time consuming.
Hours.
It's like when you have to rip the UPS label off a box because you want to reuse it, and you just get little pieces at a time. You're like, why can't I just pick up this whole sheet, right?
The little things in life.
Oh my gosh.
That was a weird analogy, but I think it works, right?
It really did work.
It's true though.
Great.
Very true.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a break. Ponder that as we go to break. We'll be right back.
Darn labels.
Keep going.
Hey, look at that. Winterfest.
I want you to check this out. A diamond that is literally from out of this world is up for auction. This is a 555.55 carat black diamond believed to have come from outer space. The rare gem is expected to sell for at least $6.8 million. The jewelry specialist in Dubai says the diamond is likely from outer space, but that's just a hypothesis. Black diamonds are rare and found naturally only in Brazil or Central Africa. The theory that it's from outer space is based on their carbon isotopes, and high hydrogen content.
All right, I have a problem with this.
What's your problem?
I love them. Yeah, 555 carat diamond, worth a lot. I get it. But why did it have to fall in Dubai, one of the richest places in the world? It couldn't have fallen in like Archdale, you know? I mean, what? That's ridiculous.
Or Summerfield, right? What's your address,
Right.
Chilton?
Right.
Wow, that's incredible.
I wish it was, I think black diamonds are really pretty too, but, man.
Are they solid? Like it's not like, you can't see through it like a quartz or anything, right?
It kind of looks like coal.
Yeah.
Like a piece of coal.
That's an expensive piece of coal.
Yeah, absolutely.
But even if it came from outer space, how is it a diamond?
I don't know.
And not just
You're
like a
over our
rock.
pay grade now.
No idea. But and I'm sure that you've heard about this because you're a woman and you like diamonds, I imagine, right?
Yes.
Is that a generalization? That you can make them now in labs.
Actually, my soon-to-be sister-in-law, her engagement ring is a man-made diamond made in a lab. It's beautiful. You can never tell the difference.
My wallet likes that.
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper.
Is it cheaper? Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. They're still pricey, but
Yeah.
not near as pricey as a or as a, diamond you dig up out of the ground.
Yeah. All right, Eric Chilton, one last check of the forecast on your birthday.
Okay, we will do that. And just watching things basically here as far as temperatures go, I know everybody's really focused on the weekend, and that's really what we need to look at. But 50 tomorrow, hey, we get a decent warm up in the short term. It'll be fairly dry. But Thursday, another front moves in with rain, a little bit of snow maybe on the back end. We will watch Friday and Saturday, folks. That could be a wintry mix. Too early to make a call on what type or how much, but we'll be right here to let you know as the days get closer.
Hello, mic check 1, 2, 3. This is my last time.
In person. Mic check 1, 2, 3. Just say me.
Hi there, Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas.
Hi, Callie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Hey, we're headed in there to talk about when your roads will finally get plowed.
Hi, I won't be squinting into the sun for this hit, so you'll actually be able to see my face.
Hey, so that's all of it. Some of the stuff towards the end is better because they got a little closer to me, so it's not as shaky from my zoom. Callie should have come in there and given you directions on what she wanted. So yeah. All right, awesome. Thanks. We'll be on IFB shortly. Bye.
Crosby, is this your work number?
Yeah, that's my work number.
I should save it. Well, I know it's you. Crosby, work.
All right, come on down, Jenna.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Remember in Pretty Woman when they go out to eat at that fancy restaurant? In between courses, the waiter brings them sorbet to cleanse the palate. It's to get rid of the taste of the last plate before moving on to the next one. Well, just like that icy frozen dessert, I'm hoping our winter storm is a chance for a refresh. The past year, 2 years, they felt so divided. First, politically, the Triad right down the middle, it seems like both sides have a hard time getting along. Then we added in COVID. There's been so much disagreement about hatred with should we wear a mask, should we not, should we get vaccinated, should we not? To be honest, it's been heartbreaking watching our neighbors and friends pit themselves against each other like this. Because of it, I've all but given up Facebook. But over the past couple of days, surrounded by all of that shiny ice, there's been this glimmer of hope. Our crews have met the most amazing people like Keegan, who helped deliver food to strangers stuck at home.
Taking care of our city employees.
And Mario, who gave free pizza to city road crews. Plus the tow truck driver, whose actual last name is Angel. Sure, he was out there to make a buck, but also,
I guarantee you for every one we get paid for, we do 2 for free just to get them off the road.
These 3 are a small example of all the folks who pulled together to help the Triad get through the storm. They didn't ask questions about what are your political beliefs or where do you stand on COVID before jumping in to help. No, they saw human beings who needed a hand from a friend. If we all treat each other more like that, maybe things won't feel so divided. That's my 2 cents. WFMY News 2 at 5 is next.
While most of the main roads across the Triad have been plowed, many side roads and neighborhoods still remain icy